as such, I think Victoria probably was a bit of a natural despot, but she very much was kept under the thumb of constitutional monarchy, and she had to obey the rules, and she did obey the rules, but things became complicated. Well, first of all, in the early years of her reign, she learned by her mistakes, by overreaching herself, trying to think she could, you know, swap ministers in and out and do things in her own way. And sometimes she kicked over the traces too much and didn't follow the protocols and the rules. Well, she learned very quickly, thanks to a wonderfully helpful and wise Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, who for the first 3 or 4 years of her reign, well, 3 years till Albert turned up, really taught her statesmanship. She learned how to be a queen from Melbourne. So he reined in all her natural teenage impetuosity and taught her the rules of being a queen. And then, of course, things changed dramatically when Albert came along, because Albert very quickly became the completely dominant, controlling influence in her life. And what Albert thought, what Albert said, what Albert did in terms of politics, bringing up the children, arts, music, literature, everything Albert liked, she liked, and everything Albert didn't like, she didn't like. And she took all her political judgment, her guidance from him, all the decision making, very much came as a joint consultation with Albert. So once she started having all these children, one after another, her hold on power as, well, she wasn't really an autocrat, but as the sole monarch, it kind of diminished, because every time she was suffering postnatal depression or recovering from one baby, she was kind of hand over certain tasks to him to do until she was recovered. And bit by bit, what you see happening is that Albert gains a lot more control and power over the throne, to the point where by the time he died, obviously prematurely, but died in 1861, it had reached a point where he was becoming too powerful. And I think there might have been a challenge to that. And I do worry that if Albert hadn't died then, not that I wished him dead or anything, but I think he would have taken over even more control of the throne from Victoria, subtly, you know, not obviously, but little by little. She was allowing herself to be edged out. So what's so extraordinary about her reign is that after Albert's death, she went through a very long, crucifying period of mourning. But when she began to come out of it in the mid-70s and then into her Jubilee years, the great days of empire, she became this wonderful, transcendent figure, the great matriarch, you know, the grandmama of Europe, the mother of the nations, the head of the Commonwealth, well, not the Commonwealth, but the head of the empire. So you can see her reign going through different phases, before Albert, during Albert, and then after Albert.